Hi everyone, today is October 20th. Welcome to Economic Observations. I am Chris, your host for the day, and I'm here just to talk about, the reality or the way I see things. I believe that we are in for a major, major correction. The stock market is going to correct, and so is the price of homes. Let's look at history, right? History is known to repeat itself. And I also want to put out that this is not a political issue. It's not if Trump wins the election that the economy is going to recover, and if Biden wins that it's going to collapse, which people tell me all the time. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the amount of debt. Debt that has been created over the past 50 years, right? Where corporations keep getting richer and richer, and I just don't see an end to it. And so, like I said, I don't know where to begin with this video because it's everywhere. I was listening to a news channel, someone in Boston or in Watertown, Massachusetts, a restaurant been around for 34 years. When the first lockdown came in March, she said she was first in line for the PPP loan. She kept on her staff. She paid her staff. And ultimately, they just closed maybe 3 weeks ago. They had their last meal served. But those people are on the hook for the PPP loan, regardless of whether it helped their business or it didn't. When people took out PPP loans, or businesses took out PPP loans, everybody was under the interpretation, and then I heard it right here, the government, is offering forgivable loans, take this money and keep people employed, and let's not have a financial crisis. Well, that money's gone. And the financial crisis came to a lot of businesses. You can't run a restaurant, an airline, a retail outlet, an electric company. You can't run your town or city on 25%. And the bailouts only lasted so long. It's happening all across America, leaving debt. And when you sign that PPP loan, you personally secure it. They check your personal credit to make sure that you can pay it back. Well, what happens when businesses go under? They spent that money to pay their people, right, their staff, who now are unemployed. In a lot of instances, this is not just a one-off. The country has been in debt. And we are so reliant on the next stimulus package, right? The stimulus in April came and went. It's gone. Trillions of dollars. So now what? The government has to issue more stimulus checks to people? And then once that's gone, is it going to be more stimulus? Like, when does it end? This is not a healthy economy. And what happens if we stop putting the stimulus in? Which is a good, that would be letting the free markets lie where they should be. Without stimulus, we are in for a deflationary period. The prices of everything are going to crash. The stock market is going to crash. The housing market, look at these moratoriums, and these forbearances are going to expire. A lot of forbearances were for 6 months. Some were for 1 year. But what happens when they expire? This economy is not going to get better before then. It's just not. Where's the end? Today was an interesting day. I'm trying to help a bunch of hand makers, people, artisans who create their own thing. They've been shattered. There's been no festivals or markets or pop-ups. There has been no event space for them to sell any of their stuff. It's just strictly online, these virtual markets or your website, or if you have any luck with Amazon Handmade, maybe you sell a few things, or Etsy, who knows. But for the most part, a lot of these people haven't had an opportunity to get out there and show their product. And while the economy is not doing well. And those watching this channel probably know that. There's a lot of people who are not watching any of the channels, right? It's not mine. I have 44 subscribers. It's certainly not my channel. But there are, channels out there with, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And you would think that most of the world is attuned to what's going on. But I'll share with you a little conversation I had. So I'm looking for some retail space. I'm looking for large retail space. There's so much retail space available. But I'm looking for retail space for 4.5 weeks. Right? I'm looking for a short-term rental. I'm looking for 10,000 square feet. And I thought that, it would be a great fundraiser for our organization because our work in Tanzania is at a crucial time of need and our resources are really, really low. And to be honest, I don't even know if our nonprofit's going to survive. So if we rent this space, retail space, and there's so much of it around, and I have my eye on a few different places, and I've reached out to the management companies, and I've only heard from this one guy. And he says to me, oh, that space is great space. It's going for $20 a square foot. And granted, it's not in a major shopping area. It's not in a mall. And it's in the center of a town which has a population of 25,000 people. It's not near a highway. It's kind of off the beaten track, but on a local main road. He said to me, oh, I get a lot of phone calls on that property. And I said, well, maybe the owner of the property would be, he says to me, we won't rent it for a month. We have people who are interested. I said, really? The place has been empty for 3 years. You have people interested in that space? I said, there's so much space around. And he says, oh, I have people that inquire about that space all the time. I said, the space has been empty for 3 years. No one's interested in it. It can be a win-win for everybody. We can provide an opportunity for 35 hand makers to set up their 10 by 10 space, all socially distanced, lots of space in between, Christmas decorations, make it a winter market, so to speak. We can have holiday music piped in, we can have Christmas trees and Christmas lights, and it would run from Black Friday to Christmas Eve. And he was not arguing with me, but telling me how valuable this property is. And I said to him, do you realize we're in a retail apocalypse? And he said, I'll tell you one thing. He says, if Trump wins, everything's going to be great. And if Biden wins, everything's going to be terrible. And I said, you really believe that? I said, this is not a Trump and a Biden thing. This is a debt thing. I said, I'm an economist by trade. I studied economy in university. This is not a Biden-Trump thing. This has been going on too long. Look at the GDP versus debt. Whoever gets in that space is not going to earn enough to make it work. Now I'm thinking, we rent it for $10,000. We get 30 vendors. They each pay $1,500, we have to buy insurance and do marketing and signage and some Christmas decorations. And, we walk away with $12,000 for our organization, which is okay because we're desperate right now. Our bank account has never been lower. So I was thinking I can make this work, right? And I have a lot of vendors who are interested, a lot of handmade people. They make candles and soaps, and they paint, and photographers, and they make wood carvings and all sorts of things. So I thought it could be a win-win, right? It could be a good social project, right? You're helping out the landlord because they need the rent, and you're helping out these artisans who need to sell some of their handmade stuff. And it can work for our nonprofit, right? So who knows what 2021 is going to be. But I thought maybe we can do this. But geez, these commercial real estate brokers are really ignorant, trying to tell me that the economy's great and that he gets a lot of interest. And I said, do you realize that I just went down to this shopping center and there are 9 vacant spots, and I went to this other one and there are 7 vacant spots, and you go along the main street here and there's like 6. And the one reason I was interested in this space is because it was fairly large, right? It's probably 7,000 square feet, which is good to be socially distanced and, be in with the protocol of the Massachusetts COVID requirements. Look at historical 1987. It came down, it went up, it went 1999, it went down, it went up, 2008, it went down, it went up. But this time, if you look at, it went down March, but it certainly didn't go down enough. It didn't go down nearly the amount it should have. We are so overvalued. Everything is overvalued. People are dumping money into the stock market. I guess because there's nowhere else to put money. But once it starts collapsing, those that are invested in it, it's going to be tough. I liquidated all of my mutual funds and stock positions outside of my 401k in, I think it was June. I just didn't trust the market. So I'm sitting on cash. And I'm sitting on some gold, and I got some Bitcoin. And the Bitcoin I bought like in 2013 at like $200. And it's an interesting story of how I got into Bitcoin. There was a company called BitPesa, and BitPesa, pesa in Swahili means money, and they were located in Nairobi, and you would buy Bitcoin and they'd convert it into shillings and send the shillings to people's phones. So that was a way of me paying people in Tanzania, and I think I bought like 5 Bitcoin, and I sent most of it to Tanzania, but I have a little bit left that, another app came out and it made it easier. Anyway, that was my Bitcoin story, and since then I have accumulated some Litecoin and some Ethereum. I'm going to close it there. There's so much more to talk about. And I will get out a video shortly again with some graphs and charts. But people, beware, hunker down. This is not the time to go out and get into more debt. If you have more debt, pay it down, okay? If you're thinking about buying a house, hold off. Don't buy it yet. We all have to live somewhere. They say that the price of homes is, going sky high and stuff, but it's not the time to buy. It really isn't. It's not time to invest in the stock market. If you have a margin account, close it out, pay it off. When this comes down, it's going to come crashing down, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. The dollar may devalue a little bit, but what would you rather do? Would you rather lose $50,000 in the stock market, or would you rather it depreciate a little bit to $48,000? At least you'd have the $48,000. I was once told from a very smart guy that I used to work with at Goldman Sachs. He said, never invest in the stock market what you can't afford to lose. That's my advice for today. I will talk more tomorrow. I'm sorry that I haven't put out a video in 4 days. I say that all the time. My sincere apologies. Sometimes the economic news is just too grim to bear. Anyway, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, share it. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I appreciate you. Have a great day.